Hello everyone and welcome back to our part 4 of our CSS display and position series. So today we are diving into a fixed and sticky positioning to see how they can level up your web design. So let's get started. So the first one is the display property. Display property in CSS is one of the most fundamental concept in web design. It controls how HTML elements are displayed on the web page, whether they appear in the block level, inline, flex, or the container, or are hidden entirely. So understanding display is a key building to clean and responsive layout. So let's see the types of display. So here you can see first one is block. I will explain in simple words here and then move to the examples. So block, the element takes up the full width available. Next one we have the inline. It takes only as much width as needed. Next flex, here you can see it turns a container into a flexible box layout. So it is used for building responsive layouts easily. So if you watch my last video, there I have used the display flex to give that element in a horizontal way. And next one is none. Here you can see hides the element completely, not visible and not in the layout flow. So let's see one by one example on this. First I open the VS Code. Here you can see I have created a index.html file inside the codex mitra folder, and here I have already created the style.css file, and the link of this file is in the head section of our HTML file. Here you can see link relation is equals to style sheet and h reference is equals to the style.css, means that file name. Next, inside the HTML file, I have already created the basic HTML structure, and in body section, I have given the one paragraph as a welcome to your Codex Mitra. Next, let's execute this for here you can see I have created a Codex Mitra folder, and inside that I have index.html. Let's open with Chrome. So here you can see our output, means that paragraph is visible in your browser. So let's understand first the div and the value for that display, and a value for that is a block. Let's understand this property. First I will create the div, and in that I will give the text as box element or a block element. Let's save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see only the structure means the text whatever I have given inside the div, that is visible in your browser. But how we can know that this is the block or this is the property that referencing the display block? So let's give the background color for that div. So give the style to this background of this div, so we can give the attribute, and here I will give that property display flex, display block, and next semicolon, and let's add the background color. Here I will give the light blue color. Now let's save this and refresh our browser. Here you can see, as I told, the block display block property is there, so that takes the full width and starts on the new line. Here you can see. Now let's see another type, that is display inline. So first here I will give another div, and in that I will give the text as inline element. Now here you can see the text is present here, inline element. As I told, the block element is next start with the new line. Here you can see Now add the style to it. Now here I will give the style and display inline. Next end with the semicolon and another property as background color. So here I will give the background color as light coral. Next I will give the width as 100 pixel and as well as height I will give as 50 pixel. Here you can see. Now let's save this and refresh the browser. So here you can see. Now let's see our output. Here you can see the inline text only as much as width is as needed and doesn't starts on new line. And here you can see, you might think that I have already given here height and width, so may the whatever is the our div is there, that taking this height and width proper values. Let's try to remove this and let's see. It is better to give the height and width, but for now I will remove this and let's refresh this. Here you can see that the inline element whatever is there, that taking how much width is needed, that only it is taking. If that takes the height and width as 100 to 50, then here you can see how was our output. I will remove this display inline so that you will understand the height and width as 150. So now let's save and refresh. Here you can see this is the height and width whatever is I have given without display display inline property. And after that it is taking only how much space is needed, how much width is needed, that only it is taking. Okay, I have removed the height and width property. So next let's create another div, and in that I will give the property as text as inline block. Here you can see. Now let's add the style to this block. I will use the style is equals to, and the property is display inline. Inline block and with a semicolon, give the background color. Here I will give the background color as light green. Next for this add the height. Here I will give the height as 50 pixel and width as 100 pixel. Next add here double quotes. Now save this and let's add here spam tag, because spam is inline and whatever I have given div, that is already block level. So let's remove this. Now save and let's see both the. Here you can see whatever is the inline block is there, that seem like a inline, but you can set the width and height, combines the features of inline and block both. Here you can see as the inline I have drawn, it is starting in the same line, and the inline block is always starts with the existing line only, not in a new line. So now let's learn the another property of a CSS, that is a display none. So let's go to the VS Code, and here I will give the div, starting div, and inside that I will give the text as you can't see me. Let's first save this and go to the browser and refresh. Here you can see that the text is visible in the browser. You can't see me. Let's give the property style is equals to display none, and save this and go to the browser. Now here you can see that whatever is the text I have given inside the div, that is not visible in your browser. So using the display none, it completely hide the element. So now let's move to the another property, that is display flex. So now I will create the div and give the style is equals to the display flex. Now inside that I will create another div, another two more div, and here I will give the text as item 1, and inside another div I will give the item 2 text. Now let's save and refresh. So before using the style flex, here you can see that whatever is the text I have given, that is printing in tabular form. So now go to our VS Code. Let's add the style to the div. So now I have added the style, that is display flex. Refresh. Here you can see now it is displaying in horizontal layout. Now let's give the more properties to it. So I will give the gap as 20 pixel. It gives the gap in between the item as a 20 pixel. So let's give the background color so that you can see the each item in that display flex property. So I will give the same color to the both the divs, copy and paste inside the div of style tag, style attribute. Now here you can see the each item has the background color as aqua, and it has the space in between the each item, that we have used the gap. So let's give the another property. It's a display grid. So after this, here I will create a div, and inside that div only I will create another divs. Here you can see. Now here I will give the text as box 1, and inside this I will give the text as box 2. Let's save and refresh here. Here you can see the box 1 and box 2. Now let's give the style to our outer div as display grid. Now save and refresh. Nothing is happening. So there is one more property here, that is grid template columns, and here I will give the value as repeat as 2 columns and fraction, that is 1 e of r, means 1 fraction. Next, one more property, that is gap, I want as 10 pixel. Now save this and refresh our browser. Now here you can see the box 1 and box 2 are separated, but you see in deep, then you can see that our browser is separated in 2 parts. So for that I will give the style as a background color, and here I will give the aqua. I have already given, so I will give the light gray, or okay, a light gray. Now inside this I will give the another background color. Now let's give the blue violet. Now save and refresh our browser. Here you can see both the divs, means using this property display grid, that is display grid, and another is a grid template column. It dividing that one into a fraction. So I will explain you the code. Here you can see first one is the grid. This lines turns the outer div into a CSS grid container. Here you can see this is our outer container, and that means that its child elements, the box 1 and box 2 are will be placed according to the grid rules, means rows and columns, not in regular flow. So now here you can see the grid template column. So this lines defines the number and the size of columns. Here you can see the value of that. So it means that we want 2 columns. Here you can see this is box 1 is the first column and box 2 is the second column. So this is the 2 columns, and each column will take up the one fraction of the available space. Our available space means starting from this to this. In here you can see in block element, whatever is the background color is there, that is our whole space, but using the fraction that each space is divided into 2 columns. Here you can see. So now we want a gap in between as a 10 pixel. So it is giving us the gap as 10 pixel in both rows and column gaps. It likes adding a margin between the boxes without affecting the actual size. So that's all for the display types of display in CSS. Now let's move to the another topic, that is positioning. So first I will explain you what is the position means. The position property in CSS defines how an element is placed in the document. It affects where and how the element appears in relation to its surrounding or the browser's window. There are many types. Here you can see the static, relative, absolute, and fixed sticky. So let's learn one by one. First I will remove all this. Not given any style, so refresh our browser. Here you can see only our paragraph is executed as welcome to your Codex Mitra. So now let's move to the types of position in CSS. First position type is a static. So for that I will create the div, and in that I will give the text as static element. Now let's save and refresh the browser. Here you can see the static element is printing. Now let's give the style div, add the style is equals to, and the property, that is a position, is static. So let's save and refresh the browser. So nothing will happen, but I wanted to show what is the theory behind this. So the default it is the static means it is a default position for all the elements. So the elements appear in the normal document flow one after another, means the top, left, right, bottom don't work. So let's learn another property. So that is our relative. Here I will create the div and I will give the text as relative position. Now I will give the property. So property is position relative. here I will give the top as 20 pixel and left as 30 pixel. Now let's save this, and first I will remove this and show you the difference. Now save and refresh. Now here you can see that as like same static it is printing because we have not given the any actual positions. So now let's give the top as 20 pixel, left as 30 pixel. Now save this and refresh our browser. Here you can see now it moves the element to relative to its normal position. Here you can see that it moves the top from uses a 20 pixel from top, and from left it is using the 30 pixel. Means it moves the element related to its normal position. It still occupies the original space. Now let's see another type of position. Now here I will create the div, and in that I will create another div and add the text as absolute inside relative. Okay, now give first. Here you can see our output, it is overlapping. So now let's add the properties to the outer view as position is equals to relative. Now after that add the property to inner div. So here I will give the style as position absolute, and here I will define the top as 10 pixel. Next I will give the left as 10 pixel. Now let's save and refresh. Here you can see this is our before, and okay, here you can see this is still overlapping. So here I will give the different top. Here I will move to 40 pixel. Now let's see. Here you can see now the absolute, it removes the removed from normal flow position relative to the nearest position the ancestor, means not static. So if no such ancestor exists, it's a position relative to the HTML or the body tag. Now let's move to the another that is fixed. So here I will create div and give the text as fixed position. Let's see, here you can see fixed position. So it is overlapping with each other because it is giving the space for the own, not for the entire browser, and whatever the space is used, that is not leaving. So let's add the, or else I will remove this all. Now save it one more time, and here I will give the property, and here position. Here I will give the position is fixed, and with the semicolon. Here I will give the top as 0 pixel and left as 0. This is when we use that when we want the our sidebar or navbar at fixed position, so that time we use this. So here I will give the background color as yellow. Now let's save it and refresh. Here you can see it has the top from 0, and from left it is starting from 0, and it is fixed position. Anything will happen, but this is not removed. So let's give that property whichever we have given. save this and refresh the browser. Here you can see our code is having multiple div elements, but still the fixed position is not be removed. So let's go to the another property, sorry, another type of position. Here I will give the div and the style is equals to position sticky, and with the semicolon. Here I will give the top as 0 and background I will give as light blue. Okay. Now after that, inside I will give the text as sticky position. Now let's save and refresh. Here you can see our sticky position. So it acts like a relative until it reaches a scroll position, then it stick like a fixed. So used for sticky headers or the sidebars in our web browser. uh, it scrolls normally, but when it reaches the top, it sticks there only as like a fixed position. So that's for today's video on CSS positioning and display. So I hope now you helped you understand how the each type works and when to use them. If you like this video, then don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel for more web development tutorials. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.